Alrighty, so we are getting ready to start. I will go ahead and slide the show. Today we'll be talking about creating a budget and saving money. I will first begin by introducing myself and giving you a reminder about all the things that I do. All right, so as you guys know, I send out text message reminders to you about things like enrolling in classes. I'll be sending out a FAFSA one later, just getting you reminders about things you need to be doing. I have one-on-one virtual meetings if needed. So I recently shared out my link tree. On my link tree, you can find my calendar link, and that's how you can make an appointment with me if you need help with anything or if you're just wanting to talk about something. I also provide general support and encouragement, answer your questions. I can help you get connected to resources on your campus, such as tutoring or counseling or work study positions, that kind of thing, financial aid. I do visit some campuses, so any campus where I have a high population of students, I have been visiting. I just went on my first visits last week or the last 2 weeks, and they were a lot of fun. Hopefully, those of you that attended thought they were great. I've also started a peer mentor program at select campuses that is off and running. If you are a peer mentee and you have not responded to your peer mentor yet, please do so. The last thing I do, I have monthly virtual office hours on Zoom. So every day or not every day, one day a month, I do office hours where you can drop in and get any help you might need, or if you have a quick question, or if you just want to talk to me about how college is going. I'll be on Zoom from 10 to 12, 1 to 3, 4 to 6. And the next one is coming up on October 18th. Those will be every third Wednesday of the month. So who am I? You kind of heard what I did, but who am I? My name's Brittany. I'm a Mizzou alum, a former first generation college student. So I was the first in my family to go to college. For undergrad, I got an interdisciplinary studies degree with an HDFS, which is Human Development and Family Studies minor. Then I went on to graduate school where I obtained a Master's of Social Work and a Master's of Public Health through a dual program at Mizzou, which was awesome. I started in this role with MCAC, otherwise known as Missouri College Advising Corps, back in February of 2018. I'm originally from St. Louis. I moved to Columbia for college, lived there for about 10 or 11 years, loved Columbia, big fan of Columbia, and now I've lived in Kansas City for the past 2 years. I also really enjoy Kansas City, so I've kind of just moved down I-70. A little bit more about me. I am a big lover of sports and musical theater. I love them both. Obviously, it's football season. I've been like all in on football so far. I'm also a huge soccer fan. Love Kansas City Current and Sporting KC. But I also like musical theater, so I'm hoping to see some shows this fall. If you are needing help, there will be I'll share the link for my link tree at the end, and I will be doing I'll post that in the chat so you guys can get help with anything I might need. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm hoping to keep this to about 10 or 15 minutes. First and foremost, creating a budget. One of the biggest rules you need to know about not just creating a budget, but just something to help you save money and be more financially conscious in general is the 50-30-20 rule. So the 50-30-20 rule means you should put 50% of your income towards your needs. So that's going to be things like food, housing, clothing that you absolutely need. 30% towards wants. So like things like entertainment, so like concert tickets or movie tickets or sporting events, maybe like a new phone or iPad or things like that. And then 20% for saving. So save away about 20% of it. Now, obviously, one of the biggest components of the 50-30-20 rule means that you have to have some kind of income. So if you don't have a job, maybe finding a way to kind of make some kind of money, whether it be through a job or research opportunities, we'll talk about in a second. Just some way to generate some kind of income. This link I will also share with you guys. This is a link to a budget template on Google. So if you click it, you will go to a budget template. Now, right now, you're just a viewer, so you can't edit this. But if you go to, let it load first. If you go to File and click on Make a Copy, you can make your own copy, and then you can make this how you want it. But this is pretty self-explanatory. So if you go over right now we're in October, so you can see the month of October. You can input your income. So if you make a job, you can put your paychecks in here, and then you're going to include your monthly expenses. So for instance, you've got mortgage or rent payment, student loan or tuition payment, car payment, cell phone, all that good stuff. So the top you'll see is kind of like those fixed bills. And then the bottom is going to be more like things kind of like material items, fun, all that good stuff. Now, the great thing about this budget template is once you save your own, you can make these kind of side, what's the word I'm looking for? Side, I don't know, like you don't have to have a cell phone. If you don't make a cell phone payment, you could change that to something else or delete it. If you're not spending a lot of money on dinner, you could get rid of that. Or if you're not someone who even uses fitness, you could delete that totally out, or if you don't have to pay for it. This could be anything you want, but once you kind of figure out how you want it and make your copy, you can kind of do it how you want. So we'll just make a copy for now so I can show you guys how it works. So for instance, we'll slide over to October, and let's say I already had a paycheck this month for $550. That was my first paycheck. But every month, what I like to do is I like to put all these fixed numbers in ahead of time. So for instance, let's say I pay $425 in rent every month. I know that's what I'm going to pay. My student loan payment, let's say, is $50, or my tuition payment, or whatever it might be. My car payment is $150. Let's say these are all made up numbers, by the way. Cell phone, $150. Utilities, let's say I split those with my roommate, so they're about $40 a month. And other, I don't have anything in other. So you can already tell if you go down here that just from one paycheck, I'm in the red of $265. Now, let's say another paycheck comes. Now it'll be in the green, $285. So that $285 is what I could spend in all the other columns. So this is kind of a budget you can use as you go along. It's also really good just for tracking your money. If you wanted to kind of do it a different way, one way you could do that, I'm going to use January as an example. So you can still put in your fixed bills up here. You could still put in like $50 tuition payment, whatever. And then down here though, you could, like, let's say you're going to budget $100 in January for groceries. As the month goes on, instead of adding to that total, you can subtract. So like, let's say you go to the grocery store and you spend I'm going to keep it even, $52. Then you'd have 48 left for the month of January. So you can kind of subtract it that way. I like to just do it kind of more like a tracking sheet. So I don't do it that way. I just like to keep an eye on how much money I'm spending and adjust as I go. That's kind of how I work for my budget. This is what I found that works for me. I hope this tool works for you guys. If you do need help and want to like work on this one-on-one, or want someone to like walk through it with you, go to that link tree and make an appointment. But we are going to go on to the next slide because I like to keep these short. Oh, one last note for creating a budget. It's really important if you can create an emergency fund for yourself. So if something happens, you have some money to fall back on. Again, creating a budget requires you to have some kind of income. So if you don't have some kind of income, that's going to be kind of hard. But you should have some kind of money saved away just if like an emergency happens. In college, an emergency hopefully wouldn't be anything too big. So just having like an extra $50 or $100 can be really helpful, but getting that started will really help you in the long run as you are continuing on through school and into young adulthood. So a few tips to save money. Your student ID is your ticket to student discounts. I know there are a lot of places like food places that offer student discounts, bowling. I know even some like sporting events have student discounts. So definitely use your student ID to get those discounts. And when it comes to textbooks, rent or buy used textbooks. That can save you a lot of money. If you're going to a bigger school, even if you're not and you live near a big school like UMKC or Mizzou, KU, K-State, Missouri State, SEMO, any of those bigger universities, they all are going to have research opportunities, and they send those out to students. But if you fit the criteria they're looking for, you can do those research opportunities to make a little bit extra money. It can be anywhere from like $50 for doing some kind of like test online, or it could be $100 to $200 for going in and like doing a lab, like scientific experiment. So look out for those, keep your eyes peeled for those. That's a good way to make some extra money that you can then save. If you're able to, you're in school, you took out some student loans. If you can make some small payments while you're in school, that's going to help you out. Unsubsidized loans are going to be accruing interest while you're in school. So you're going to be owing more money by the time you graduate. Subsidized loans, you don't have to worry about, but subsidized loans will accrue interest 6 months after graduation. So if you pay down that principal while you're in school, that amount you borrowed, you'll owe less interest in the long run, which will then save you money on that loan. If you're not able to, that's okay. I didn't make any student loan payments while I was in school, and now I'm making them now. Although ever since COVID, I haven't had to make many payments. But if you're able to, that can be a way to save you money in the long run. One thing that I've recently done is I started to do like this roundup program through my bank, where every time I make a payment on my debit card, it rounds up like $1 or $2 and puts that right away into my savings account. So that can be a really good thing to do if you're just looking to save a little bit of extra money here without really having to think about it. Also, if you just get like a change bucket at your house and can put some change in a bucket or save like a few bucks here and there, that can be really helpful. The biggest tip I have is to use a dedicated savings account when you're doing those things. So going to your bank and having them set you up a savings account that you can then use to actually save money. Savings accounts will also accrue a tiny bit of interest, not a lot unless you have like a ton in there, but that can be something really helpful. The only thing is keep in mind is the stipulations or the parameters of the savings account. So you might not be able to like withdraw that often or things like that. So just make sure you are checking on the parameters. If there are any questions, you can type them in the chat or send me a text. I know I went through that all very fast. I was trying to kind of keep it short. Hopefully the short and sweet was good for you. But if you do have any questions about anything about creating a budget or working on saving money, things like that, please shoot me a text. I'm happy to help any way that I can. If you are looking for a part-time job or need help figuring out how to get a work study position, please reach out to me. I'm happy to get you connected with someone on your campus or help you, review your resume, apply to jobs, do a job search, that kind of thing. Please reach out. Before I let you go, actually, I think before I let you go, I am going to go ahead and do this. I want to give you guys a few reminders. So again, I will have a virtual office hours on Zoom every third Wednesday of the month. So the next one coming up will be October 18th, and I'll be on Zoom 10 to 12, 1 to 3, 4 to 6. There's all the information that you need. The meeting ID. So again, virtual office hours are things like if you just need help, you need to pop in real quick, need to get a quick question answered, you can hop on. Maybe you need help with something one-on-one on the computer, I can help you with that. My next workshop will be Thursday, November 9th at 4 p.m. I'll be focusing on finals week preparation. So some tips to help you get ready for finals week. I might do an incentive, maybe like a little finals week care package thing or something for people that come. So keep your eye open for that. Lastly, I want to give you a quick reminder about the 2024-2025 FAFSA. Typically, the FAFSA would open on October 1st, so it would already be open. And if you are going to be in school at all next year, so at all during fall 2024, spring 2025, or summer 2025, you will need to renew your FAFSA. However, it is undergoing a major overhaul, and it will not open until December. So right now, we are just waiting to see when that date is, when it opens. I can tell you that a lot of things are changing. They're trying to make it more simplified. Some of the terminology is changing. For instance, student aid index is going to be a new way to think about it instead of expected family contribution. So a lot of things are kind of changing. I don't want to say it's going to be harder to fill out. It's just going to be different. It's going to be new. So once the date is set, I will send out a link so you guys can sign up for virtual help appointments online. You can share your screen with me. We can go through the FAFSA together and get it done. Lastly, this is my link tree. I'm going to exit my share so I can copy this in the chat for you. My link tree is going to have things like ways to make appointments. It'll have all the workshop information on there. It will show you it will have upcoming events on there. There's a calendar you can see with things that are going on. I'll add like campus visits on there, the calendar, everything will be on there. So my link tree will be the place to go if you need any help. But thank you for joining me on this workshop and watching this video. I appreciate it. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out and let me know.